famous man once described jet running as the perfect combination of athleticism and engineering. It's where the frontier of science meets the breaking point of human metal and highly monetizable video broadcasting. My name is Nick Acaster, caster of the stars, and I welcome you to a journey across the globe filled with more bone-breaking speed and reckless competition than you could ever dream of. I welcome you to the world of jet running.
Ready to go, Nina?
Yeah, just time my jet shoes real quick. Give me a sec.
One.
Don't!
Mic test. 1, 2. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
How's the leg doing? The cat just came off. Can't wait a couple more days, you know.
I'm fine. I've been on the bench all winter. I'm not waiting another day.
You do you. But don't come crying to me if it backfires, okay? I assume you don't need a refresher on the rules?
Run, jump, slide, shoot the target, cross the finish sphere, try not to fall along the way, and repeat. You know I know that.
Hello, New York City! I'm Jack Matthew Santos, and today we're witnessing some next-level jet running. Who's leading the charge? None other than the Queen of New York herself, Nina White.
I'm still not sure if I like that nickname, Jacques. It's a bit much, don't you think?
Too bad, Queen! Half of New York is already using it.
Half of New York doesn't even know I exist.
Yeah, duh! The other half I'm talking about.
So I'm just that polarizing, am I?
Oh. You know you're allowed to sleep, right? As a matter of fact, you'd be better off for it.
The game never sleeps, so why should I?
Because I'm arguing with a brick wall, aren't I? Okay.
Oh, 100%. Still need to get in a few more runs on this track before they tear it down for the summer. And there's not really a lot you can do to stop me. I can sleep while the park's closed.
Oh, that's right. Hey, Mom's making keats for dinner tomorrow, by the way. The good guy. Hello? Nina? Are you there?
You made it!
What even is this place?
Some old shabby underground tracks the street runners used to use before the park tracks opened.
Who am I even supposed to catch for down here?
Don't know, but I need somewhere to practice while the park track is closed. And while it should be safe since quantum unwinders practically never break, I still need someone who can carry me out of here if something goes wrong.
Carry you out of here? Me? Okay. Running around where the sun doesn't shine might not be ideal, but I'd be damned if I said you weren't improving.
Yeah, and I don't have a second to lose. It's only like half a year until the Americas Open. Imagine if I do well.
Well? No, dream bigger! You're going to sweep the entire thing. I read about this. It's all about manifesting success through visualization. So visualize big!
I'm not gonna visualize a delusion, Jacques. Some of the best runners in the world are going to compete. But it would be nice to do well enough to land a sponsorship. Just...
Ooh, so close! A lesser runner would never emotionally recover from a fall like that. But the Queen of New York is not like most runners. No matter when or where it happens, she hits the quantum rewinder and tries again.
Damn right!
The old runners weren't kidding around when they built this track. Hitting your targets is hard enough with your feet on the ground. But this track barely has any solid footing to rely on. Also, a big shout out to the crowd tonight. Every one of you who showed up is witnessing something special. This is a product of the bygone era, a slightly less sanitary era. But most importantly, it's a piece of history. Jet running history. Let me hear you make some noise! After a long summer of closed tracks, we're thrilled to finally be back in action here in Central Park. And by New York City, I mean you, and only you, Nina, because no one else is insane enough to be outside during a thunderstorm. Is there any way to convince you to just, I don't know, take the night off?
Are you kidding me? After 3 months of running around in dank, abandoned tunnels, a little bad weather isn't going to stop me from finally enjoying some fresh air. But if it's so bad, why are you still here?
I'm streaming. If you're gonna risk your life running around in a thunderstorm, the least I can do is to farm some ad revenue off of it. And we're off with some excellent maneuvering by Nina, but can the queen keep up her momentum? We've seen too many runners hit the water in this next part for her to get complacent. The real question is, do you even need to bother with the middle part? With the way this track folds in on itself, it's basically begging you to find a shortcut through it. Heck, I bet one of the pros could find a way to fly right over the walls and basically make a beeline to the finish line.
Give me some time and I'll find a way to fly right over the fence myself. How hard could it be?
I mean, probably way harder than some of the other shortcuts I've spotted, but I've already lost way too much money betting against you, so I'm not trying that. The first day of snow is always special. The fresh snow never fails to remind me of what's truly important in life. Like our generous sponsors at SciTech. Without their charitable donations of gear and equipment, we would never be able to put together the city's rotating gallery of utility shops.
Are you doing an ad read for SciTech?
Shut up. I'm trying to play ball here so they might, I don't know, like donate some jet hooks or something for next year. Not all of us get to go to Rio and try out all the cool tech you normally only see at the big events.
Oh.
Happy holidays! Is everyone enjoying the market? Getting tired of walking? Well, take a seat and enjoy yourself! The year is coming to an end, and we're entering a time of rest, a time for family. But before City Council forces us to close the tracks for the season, we plan on ending the year with a bang. Tonight, you're in for a spectacle. Witness the finest jet running you've ever seen right here in Central Park. Give a round of applause for the Queen of New York City, because this will be the last time you see her before she heads to Rio to take on the world at the America's Open. The progress you've made in the last year? I can hardly believe it.
But is it enough for Rio? New York might be big, but it's still just a pawn shop.
Oh, come on, don't sell yourself short. You're going to be the greatest jet runner to have ever lived.
How are you getting this cocky on my behalf when I haven't even competed in a single pro event yet?
Fake it till you make it. Come on, say it with me.
I'm not.
No, say it. Come on, you're gonna be the greatest jet runner in the world. Visualize it.
I'm going to be the greatest jet runner in the world.
Welcome, welcome, ladies and gentlemen! My name is Mick Acaster, and I will be your host for the next couple of days here at the America's Open. Over the next 2 days, we'll see contestants from around the world brave the sun-filled tracks of Stadio del Rio, competing to prove that they're the best jet runner on the tracks. Some of the best players in the world are here this weekend, and after a long off-season, they're ready to give us their all. I can't wait! I'm casting the amateur bracket? You're gonna be kidding me! I'm Mick Acaster! Caster of the stars, damn it! I've had my freaking commentator slots for years now! How did this happen? Scheduling it! What am I supposed to do with the amateur brackets? Let's sing the praises for trying the shoes right? Half of them are only here because it's an open event. They want to see what it's like to run around in jet shoes. It'll be a miracle if more than a couple of them even jump a fence, let alone finish a track. The next one's what? Shit!
The Mick Acaster is going to cast my runs? Okay, keep it together, Nina. He's just some guy. And kind of an asshole when he thinks his mic's off, apparently.
Now, hold on. Zoom in on contestant 242. Isn't that the woman from the instruction billboards? Yeah, no, that's her. She's wearing the same outfit and everything. One of the models randomly decided to sign up for the competition or something. See, Donald, this is what I was talking about. What does a billboard model know about jet running?
Hey!
Actually seems to be doing fine. Pretty well, even. Huh. Interesting.
Okay, interesting is good.
What is going on with contestant 242? It's been years since we've seen a so-called newcomer tear up a track like this. Where has she been hiding? Production! Can you get someone to find out whatever you can on what's her name? Nina White? Man, there's gotta be something out there. Talent like that doesn't show up out of nowhere. She's not just some random billboard model. She's on those billboards for a reason. So why have we never heard of her? What? Am I still on? Crap.
Damn right I'm not!
What's that, Donald? Found something. Let's see. Holy moly! This is her? I know the audience can't see what I'm seeing right now, but production just gave me footage of contestant 242 doing laps on a community track in New York during the wildest thunderstorm I've ever seen. No wonder she seems unfazed by this weekend's event. Our little thunderbolt. No, firebolt. Firebolt is yellow. Our firebolt is yellow is the kind of daredevil who would rather put her life on the line than miss an afternoon workout session.
Oh, I still think everyone makes a way bigger deal out of it than it was. The park is surrounded by skyscrapers to hit. What's the lightning gonna do? Miss? Harry, why?
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe this is the first time today that we see the jet jelly bomb in action. The jet jelly bomb is a jet running staple, and it's always fun to see it in action. But it does have a reputation for tripping up newer runners. However, this track should be a breeze for contestant 242, considering she's on the billboard that's there to show new runners how to use it. Go on! Show the bottom meters how it's done, Fireball!
Sorry, Nick. The billboards are like 80% CGI. This, however, is 100% skill.
Let's see how contestant 242 fares against the lasers. Legally speaking, she'll be fine. They're tickle beams, after all. Pure resonance energy. In other words, not dangerous. But emotionally? Well, it's not exactly easy to live down being tickled back in time now, is it? With that said, our sponsors at SciTech would like me to assure everyone watching that it wouldn't actually matter what kind of lasers they were in the first place. Every contestant is equipped with a personal quantum rewinder for maximum safety. So who cares if they got a leg or two lasered off? The pain would only last a split second or two anyway, and then boom! It would feel like it never happened. Modern science. What would we do without?
Please don't tell me they originally considered using real limb-slicing laser beams. They did, didn't they?
And she's off! Incredible! The way she bobs and weaves to dodge the oncoming hail of fire, the firebolt is clearly no stranger to danger. And by the way, can we all just sit back and appreciate the fact that we don't do wars anymore? Imagine sitting in a trench trying to arm a machine gun, trying to fight an honest war, some rocket-powered baddie with a giant ponytail too. shot you fired and wiped your entire platoon as if it was a child in potty training. Production has found more footage of contestant 242, and the Firebolt in yellow is quite the daredevil. It's insane! She's from New York, a city known for its top-of-the-line community track. That doesn't seem to be enough for the Firebolt in yellow, no. She's the type who runs through broken-down, abandoned sewer tracks just for the extra challenge. We done any of this before she entered. There's no way she would have ever been placed in the amateur block, I can tell you that. Is that a sewer raid going on in the background, Donald? New Yorkers are a breed of their own, I tell you.
It wasn't the sewer. It was an abandoned subway line.
Carnival is winding up for another day of festivities here in beautiful Rio de Fevereiro. You can't see it from here, but the streets are bustling with life. Parades, shows, the parties. It's everything you could ask for. When I first saw the casting schedule and realized I'd be stuck in this booth all night, I was furious. I should have been out there, having the time of my life. But now, I'm not gonna lie, I'm still furious. But the Firebolt has done more than anyone could to brighten my mood. Come nightfall, however, old Nick is gonna be hitting the streets of Rio with style. We're nearing the end of an unforgettable event, ladies and gentlemen. Who would have thought the runner to watch would be some no-name adrenaline junkie billboard model? We still have one track left before the ceremony, so give it your worst, Firebolt. This one's for all the beans in the can. This. It implies what? Production has just informed me that saying, this one's for all the beans in the can, implies that contestant 242, Nina White, actually has a chance to win this event. I just want to clarify that she is not even close. She's just way better than any newcomer has any right being.
Thanks, Meg.
Nina White, a word?
Excellent performance today. Where did you learn to run like that?
Miss White, a moment for an interview.
You're the talk of the day, contestant. Sponsors are lining up to work with you. Please tell us how you feel.
Excuse me. Excuse me. Yeah, give me a second. Sponsors? How I feel? I feel like I could take on the world.
The Skypiercer is a lot different from your run-of-the-mill arena. It's taller, thinner. Tracks here in the Skypiercer are built with a very different mindset than the rest of the world. First thing you'll notice is that they're a lot more vertical, and a lot more less tunnel, you think? Verticality is really the only thing I had in mind. I just figured I'd be able to come up with more along the way. Screw it. They can't all be winners.
I don't think I've ever heard Mick fumble like that before. The broadcasters probably make sure those blunders don't make it onto the air.
Since the Americas Open last month, when we first saw the Firebolt in yellow in action, our investigative team has worked tirelessly to find out everything we can about this rising star. And wouldn't you know it, turns out the Firebolt is already a local legend. Our team spent the entire day at 6 o'clock. After the giant ponytail. Our hosts here at the Skypiercer have asked me to give you an overview of the tower's emergency exits, or rather the lack of traditional emergency exits. Skypiercer was, for a number of years, built with an aesthetics-first mindset. Can't get views like these without a little bit of sacrifice now, can you? Anyway, see those 4 elevators you all use to get in here? Yeah, they're the only way in and out. So if a fire breaks out, orderly lines are key to making it out safely. Capiche? This just in. She's only halfway into her second event ever, but the latest projections already estimate the Firebolt in Yellow to be a top 250 runner worldwide. Knowing that, I think we can all agree that Gertrude can rest easy tonight, knowing that the Firebolt practice wasn't nonsense after all. Men and women are going to be lining up at the door thanks to her newfound fame.
We just go back to talking about things that actually matter, like, my performance.
Production has just informed me that I somehow missed the second page of the emergency instructions. So, how about we all go through that real quick before moving on, alright? If you check under your seats, you'll find a pair of jet shoes. They're the same kind our runners use to jump around like maniacs and break all their falls. In theory, there shouldn't be a limit to how high you can jump from and still land safely. So, if a fire does break out, and the elevator is evacuated as quickly as you prefer, feel free to walk over to the nearest open window and jump right out of it. You might end up on someone's roof, but as long as you land feet first, you'll get down just as handsome as you were when you jumped. I hope that helps. Now let's get back to run. Look at her go! Outperformed every projection made against her, and she still shows no signs of stopping. If her father was alive to see her now, he'd hardly be able to believe his eyes. During our investigation in New York, we asked everyone we could, what drives the fire? Why does she work so hard? Why does she run around in the sewers all the time? And every single person gave the same answer. She's doing it for him. What a sweetheart.
What? Who said that? How would random people in the street even know any of that? Who told them about Dad?
The parents of Cornelius and Cornelia, please come to Kiosk 4B and get a hold of your kids. It seems they've gotten a hold of some emergency jet shoes, and they are currently using them to attempt the candy bar heist of a lifetime. You will be billed. Kiosk 4C, Kiosk 4D, 5B. Maybe you ought to grab a pair of jet shoes yourself. Be quick. SciTech is worth trillions. There's no way they can only afford a single model, let alone a no-name runner at that. No offense, Fireball. Seriously, the Kingslayer 50? Billy Battalion suddenly lose interest with some extra pocket money? I'm getting to the bottom of this. That's opening Instagram. That's Nina White, Jetrunner. Ah, yes, there she is. Oh. Okay, good enough.
What did he mean by that? It's just normal sports modeling.
The view is why I never get tired of coming back to the geysers. There's nothing quite like scaling this tower and looking down. Trying to see if you can spot the city of Mumbai anymore. It's calm. Too calm. But that's about to end, because after this, we're heading up to the final track in the tower. According to what I'm contractually obligated to say, it's magnificent. Donald, grab your jet shoes and jump out that window for me real quick, would you? I'm gonna spit off the ledge and see if it makes it all the way down. Ladies and gentlemen, we've reached the final floor of the tower. Wait a minute. Do you guys change floors between rounds, or do you stay where you are? You're the only ones changing floors? Why? Elevator capacity. Oh, yeah. Wait, so the audience watching right now, this is the first they've seen of us all weekend? I've been telling a continuous narrative all weekend. Do any of them even have a clue what I've been talking about? What about the stream? Cutting between the runners? The bots? Well, can you at least send the bots to the press real quick? Interviews are about to start, they need to be caught up. Thanks, Don. Peach. Not going to lie, ladies and gentlemen. I just got some news that really bummed me out. So I'm gonna have to leave now and have a serious talk with production about how we run things here. But before we go, let me introduce Nina White, the Firebolt in yellow. She's new here, her dad is dead, and she's cooler than a cucumber. So give her a follow on Jetrunner. You won't regret it.
Why?
Oh, and watch the vibes when they are uploaded to JetTube, because I nailed the segues first. Mick out.
I'm reaching my limit with this guy. What happened to commentating about what the runner is actually doing?
Firebolt, do you have time for an interview?
Miss White, do you ever feel like a cheat and a fraud due to your prior experience with Jetrunner equipment while modeling for the billboards?
A cheat and a what now?
We're so sad to hear about your father. Do you think his absence makes you seek approval in other forms, like, for example, audience applause?
That's a loaded question.
Over the course of this weekend alone, you've gained millions of followers on Jetstagram. How does that make you feel?
Wait, how many?
Oh, so if a fire had broken out, would you have jumped out a window? You would have, right? I would have.
Please, this is all a bit much. Can I just... Excuse me!
Welcome to Norway, home to some of the world's most jaw-dropping landscapes. As some of you might have noticed, the Getrunner Stadium isn't really a stadium at all. At least, not in the traditional sense. Instead of clogging up the fjord more than necessary, all tickets for the Getrunner games are included in Radiant Vista's all-inclusive West Norway cruise experience. Aboard Radiant Vista's nuclear-powered cruise line, you'll live green, see a lot of green, spend a lot of green, and last but not least, attention all runners! Due to an inexplicable phenomenon that I have bothered asking the scientists at SciTech about, jet shoes behave very strangely on ice. Strange how, you might ask? It's hard to explain. It feels a bit like surfing on an air hockey puck. It's weird. Just be mindful so you don't fall, okay? What's that? The science boys don't know what causes it either. Well, how about that? Huh? Fine. Production has asked me to please stop joking. SciTech science needs us to know how their own technology works. Allegedly, my answers have set the general population's trust in science back by a few centuries so far. Maybe the general population should learn to take a joke. asking me, Mick, how come there's snow in the middle of April? Is this just what Norway is like? And the answer is, yes, kind of. It wasn't always like this, but the climate here still hasn't fully recovered from when the almost apocalypse turned Norway into a block of ice 13 years ago. Now the real question is how the firebolt can bear sporting this much midriff in the dead of winter. Talk about suffering for the art.
Someone has to put a sock in his mouth sooner or later. It's not even cold. There's a temperature zone around the tracks. The snow is fake. I'm actually very comfortable.
I'd just like to inform contestant Nina White that someone forgot to turn off her interview mic, and that everyone just heard that little rant of yours just now. And for the record, we know it's not that cold. It's called color commentary.
My mic? How awful are the sound techs at these events? SciTech is $1 trillion company. It should not be this hard to keep track of which mics are on or not.
From the movement of her lips, we assume contestant Nina White is trying to say something. Sadly, production has informed me that, for safety reasons, we cannot under any circumstance allow a runner to commentate their own run. Sorry, Firebolt. Take it up with production.
This feels like victim blaming.
What? Horrible. This time? Donald! Get your head out of your phone and look up, damn it! Sorry for the interruption, ladies and gentlemen. It's just that Donald from production was saying earlier today that he's never seen the Northern Lights before, and now when they're shining brighter than I've ever seen them, he's busy playing games on his phone. Donald! World's Donald! Final stretch for the day, folks. But before we wrap things up, I have an announcement. Production loves the idea of a starting runner to talk back so much, Dave decided to turn contestant Nina White's mic back on, letting her casting her own performance.
Casting my own performance? As if I don't have enough on my plate as is, just trying to win.
That's perfect, Firebolt. Yeah, I was worried you'd have to workshop all night to come up with something funny to say. morning, ladies and gentlemen. Would you just look at that view? Sometimes I wonder why these events have to end so late and start so early. I've been there around the world for this job, and thanks to the schedule,
Get it over with.
I never get any time for myself. Right on mornings like this. You get to see the sunrise over the mountains. It's worth it. I could still do without getting off a bit earlier, though. The northern lights are just as visible from the hotel lounge as they are from the commentator's booth.
Are you not even going to comment on how it suddenly went from winter to spring overnight? Or is it just another lingering effect of the apocalypse?
Nope, not an apocalypse thing, actually. This is what the climate is like up here. On average, Norway cycles through about 15 mini winters in the span of a single year. It's a beautiful country, but trying to wrap your head around its weather, there. Are you in a financial pinch? Looking for an adventure on a budget? Say hello to Radiant Vista's Sum-Inclusive Package. With Radiant Vista's Sum-Inclusive Package, you'll receive a streamlined version of the West Norway Experience Tour featuring some of the extravagant perks of the all-inclusive package. Disclaimer, Radiant Vista's Sum-Inclusive Package does not include tickets to Jetrunner. During live events, customers with the Sum-Inclusive Package are asked to stay below deck and avoid any... Donald just showed me the chat in the mainstream, and apparently a lot of poor girls have no idea about the almost apocalypse. How's that even possible?
This is it.
We're in school these days. I guess it falls to old Mick to teach you kids some history. 13 years ago, an inexplicable, unexplainable super winter hit Norway, along with the territory formerly known as Sweden. From north to south, the Scandinavian peninsula froze and became an uninhabitable wasteland. Thankfully, our benefactors at SciTech managed to stop the catastrophe before it consumed the world. It was a terrible tragedy, but it was also a beautiful and motivating story of how the world is capable of setting its differences aside and come together to rebuild when the richest country... Our ratings have been soaring all day. And to think production tried to stop me from turning Fireball's microphone back on. It will set a precedent. It's unfair to be on the runners. You know what's unfair? Forcing me to travel halfway across the world to commentate a game for a couple $100. Now that's unfair. So, Donald, how about you ask production to stick their criticism where the sun don't shine, and tell them if they don't like the way I do things, they can fire me. Viewer numbers are at an all-time high, and they're all here for the same carrot top.
You did what?
You'll find me at the hotel bar after the games if you want to thank me in person, Fireball. This has been Mick A. Caster, and I'm out of here.
Letting the runner talk back is a new one, that's for sure.
He said they've never had viewership that high before. There's no way they were all there for me, right?
I think they were. You know what this means, right? You could land a voting spot at the Champions Summit Invitational if you keep this going. That's the biggest event of the year. You can use this.
Yeah, I can use this.
Welcome, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. As always, my name is Mickey Caster, and I wish you a warm welcome to the City of Seoul. The final qualifying spot for the Champions Summit is on the line tonight, and since the top 8 has been an unbeatable frat house for years now, and with 7 of them already qualified, part of me wonders why we even bother pretending that Billy Battalion isn't going to take it. Get your fried chicken while you can, because we're about to start the games. Up next is a runner to watch this season. The only reason I even bothered to shower this morning. Give it up for the Firebolt in yellow herself, Nina White. Now, chat, we all know Billy is going to run away with the win this weekend. He's head and shoulders above everyone else here, basically playing with his food. In situations like these, it's nice to have some real stakes. I mean that literally. Setting the odds against her way too high. I'm raking in money as a result. I couldn't be better. Are you ready to show Seoul what you're made of, Firebolt? Some of you might be wondering why the Jet Freeze is making his debut here in the Seoul Cup, not somewhere more thematically appropriate. Well, our sponsors at SciTech 111 say that the Jet Freeze was actually intended to be part of the Geringer Games, but due to complications, it wasn't finished until 3 days ago. With that said, some of you might be wondering the same thing I am. Where in the blazes did these instruction billboards even come from? When did they even have time to make this?
Did you just say it was finished 3 days ago? Has this thing been tested?
You tell us, Nina. You're the only one here who's even used it before.
Sorry to burst your bubble, Mick, but that shot was from years ago. Billboards are mostly CGI.
They're what? Why? Tunnel, do you know about this? CGI? Fun fact, the Seoul Stadium was the first jet running arena ever built. It was constructed so long ago it actually predates the sport in its entirety. The stadium was originally built for a failed attempt at a sport called Setback, a game where you run around and shoot each other back in time with quantum guns. It was absolutely ridiculous. What's that, Donald? Oh, come on, it'll be fine. If I hire a SciTech to never sense of humor, I wouldn't get away with half the things I say.
What's happening? Is someone finally going to put a muzzle on the caster of stars, Mick A. Caster?
Oh, don't be absurd. Raised by a rather handsome member of the audience, SciTech would like to assure you that their QA and safety testing regimen extends well beyond 3 days, and that they take safety precautions very seriously. After all, SciTech safety standards are world class. However, since the Jet Freeze never successfully killed anyone during development, and since rebuilding all the Geringer tracks on such short notice was already costly enough, SciTech has graciously allowed us to use it early, seamlessly integrating today's live performance into their QA pipeline. Science stops for no one.
Oh!
What? Come on! Fine. In case you couldn't tell, what I said earlier about SPEC being a ridiculous failed sport was clearly a joke. Not a very funny one at that. Also, SPEC hasn't been cancelled and was just put on ice for being too ahead of its time. I promise you, the day does come when the world is ready for SPEC to be taken off ice. It will be an event worth calling your parents about.
What's the matter, Nick? Did our precious sponsors at SciTech yank your chick?
I realize that for a lot of people at home, this might be your first time seeing an event at Seoul Stadium. You might be a bit puzzled about how we're cutting between multiple tracks that all seem to exist in the same space. I'm not going to bore you with all that science-y gobbledygook. But in short, the stadium is equipped with a set of projectors that bend time and space to our will. These projectors are used to stack all 10 tracks on top of each other along the 489 spatial dimension, saving the city of Seoul a ton of space. You see everyone in the gallery? They're actually watching 10 different tracks, depending on what angle they're viewing.
So, I've been meaning to ask, Nick.
Hey, what's this? I'm the one doing commentary here. You make fun, witty clapbacks that boost our ratings.
How come you cast every single run I've done and every single event I've been to all year? There's literally dozens of casters here today. Could have been any of them. Why is it always you? Are you following me?
Am I following you on Jetrunner? Yeah, why do you ask?
That's not what I meant.
Huh, that's strange. It seems the Firebolt microphone man spontaneously disconnected. Hopefully production can get it back online before I completely change the subject.
Okay, I see how it's gonna be.
I don't want to alarm anyone, but I have alarming news. It seems someone's kid has somehow found and peed on the dimensional bender for track 3, causing it to act a little funny. We want to assure everyone that we are working hard to get contestant Sasha to come out. She is probably very sad, scared, and confused right now, but it's fine. It happens all the time. We know exactly when and where she is. All we need to do is dry off the dimensional bender, recalibrate it. Boom! Everything should be back to normal. In the meantime, we remind all audience members who are watching track 3 to not, I repeat, do not walk into the newly formed endless void in front of you. We're not entirely sure where dimensional bender number 3 is pointed right now, so if you cross through, you will get lost between layers of multi-dimensional space.
All the time? What do you mean, all the time? Shouldn't we have been informed of this before someone got lost in a parallel dimension? What if this leaves Sasha with an entirely preventable life-altering case of interdimensional abandonment issues? Whose fault would that be?
Not ours, that's for sure. You signed away the right to blame us about anything during registration. Also, they're not parallel dimensions. The same 3 spatial dimensions we always occupy, just... who gives a hoot?
That sounds extremely illegal. Ugh, I hate it when they do that.
So I was thinking about going out for some chicken and a drink in Han River after the ceremony, since I've heard Mike's on. No, it's fine, I turned it off. Oh, I specifically remember turning it off. What? This you're doing, Tom? You're not gonna laugh at my expense, turning my mic back on when I'm not watching this some kind of goober? Don't play dumb. I know I turned it off, Tom. I remember it clear as day. It hasn't stopped, Donald. I dock my pay every single time this happens.
Hey.
And there you have it. Production has just gone over the standings, and Billy Battalion has built a lead so significant that no other runner can possibly catch up. This guarantees his victory here in Seoul, but more importantly, it means he's claiming the 8th and final qualifier spot for the Champion Summit. With that, I'd like to remind everyone that next week marks the start of voting season, where the public can vote in 8 additional contestants. Now I know it's tempting to just vote for one of the old favorites. After all, everyone always loves to see Mandarin at the Champion Summit, literally every year. He never has to work for it either, because he knows he'll get voted in year after year. Tell you what, we've had an exciting season so far, don't you agree? Why not shake things up and vote in someone new for a change? Someone up and coming, like the Firebolt in yellow?
At what point do I start getting concerned over his obsession with me?
SciTech Summit stream. The final round of voting has just ended and the results are in. I haven't seen the results myself, so let's see. Good golly! By a margin the width of a hair, your final vote for the Champion Summit is here. And it is none other than the Firebolt in yellow, Nina White. This is incredible! A runner this fresh has never been voted into the Summit. What an honor! She'll be up against legends of the sport. I can't even imagine the pressure she must feel right now. If she beats even a single one of them, it will be a historic upset. If the Champion Summit wasn't already the event to watch, it sure is now. See you all in the Peony Mountains next month. This has been Mickey Caster, Caster of Stars. Wink. Welcome everyone to the Champion Summit. Coming to you live from the legendary Peony Mountain Range. After a full season of qualifiers and vote-ins, we've gathered 16 of the world's most famous and talented jet runners here in the Peony Mountains for an unforgettable invitational. Now grab your poison of choice, because we're starting any minute now. Under normal circumstances, no one would be allowed to set foot on these things around, let alone tear down and rebuild the temples willy-nilly to make them more suitable for broadcast ports. But it turns out that when you have a giant time cannon on the moon that can literally erase time, and enough money to make God cry, you kind of just do whatever you want all the time. There's still a limit to how many people they let into the range, though, so only a few dozen people have ever been here. Heck, I'm not even there myself. I'm sitting in a production house over a nearby village. Even the crowd you're seeing? I can sit here and pretend that learning that the numbers being mostly fake doesn't affect me, but... No, it is. A little bit of magic's been lost in the world. I caught on for Ryzen 550M. Did you at least do the shoot the fun way? Did you dive off a diving board and capture the pose? Was at least slightly musical? A little bit of magic to believe in, I beg you.
I think we used cables or something. I don't really remember.
Already off to an excellent start at the Champion Summit. The time set by the Kingslayer seems as unbeatable as always, but Dr. Little Timmy isn't far behind. Even Nina White, the Firebolt Yellow, is hanging in there. Still has a long way to go before she's ready to beat the big dog, but I'm putting good money that she'll at least be able to take a couple of days here at the Champion Summit.
I'm not even close. They've been several seconds ahead of me on every course so far.
Back off again or something? It's surprisingly quiet. My mic is on. Can you? Donald. Why? I have never seen the Firebolt in yellow this focused before, but that's just how big of a deal the Champion Summit is. There is no more time for riff-raff and quirky comeback. Just sheer focus on the task at hand. I've said it before, she has nothing to lose and everything to gain. No one expects a complete newcomer to go up against the 15 greatest players in the world and come out on top. But I have beat them.
Why?
Since most of our runners have already retired for the day, we're going to start cutting over to the other, more low-stakes evening events that the Champion Summit is known for. This event is, after all, not only an event for the world's finest to show off, it's also an opportunity to bond and get to know each other through silly activities like beer pong tournaments, mafia, and the spectacular three-legged race. What is the Champion Summit if not fun? Pretty much every runner here is participating in the silliness, except except, of course, for the firebolt yellow Nina White. Unlike everyone else, she's still on the tracks, grinding, showing the world what she's made of.
I have to beat at least one of them. Why was I voted in? Whose spot did I steal? Everyone here's a legend. What have I done to deserve this? Why do I get to have my mic on? What am I, comic relief? I don't belong here. I was supposed to earn this. I should have never signed up.
So I've been thinking, I'm nowhere near the action now. I'm watching all this on a TV screen. Heck, I'm always watching the games from the screen now that I think about it. Do you have any idea how far away the runners are from the commentators' booth for the total event? There's really no reason you can't be a remote gig all the time. I can just get a studio mic and get the casting done from the comfort of my own bedroom. You wouldn't even need to own pants. All I'm saying is there's really no real reason to ever make me set foot in that death trap of a tower again. And with an unprecedented move, Dr. Little Timmy has pulled ahead of the Kingslayer in points. This is what the entire season has been building toward. And now, at the very end, at the Champion Summit, it seems like he is finally doing it. It's time. It's time I finally corrected my greatest regret. Everyone, can I have your attention, please? 5 years ago, when Tim Baker first entered the scene, we all laughed at him for being slightly shorter than average height. I laughed at him loudest of all. I was cruel to him. When I saw the surgical precision with which he carved up the tracks, I gave him the nickname Dr. Little Timmy. It's an insult, but he carried that name with honor and dignity. He never complained, never faltered, and now he has a shot at becoming the greatest runner in the world. Who's laughing now? Still me! Because I'm here to tell you that from this day on, we will no longer recognize Tim Baker as Dr. Little Timmy. No! From this day on, he is going to be known as none other than Big Timothy MD! Everyone, give a round of applause to Big Timothy! Nope, sorry to interrupt, ladies and gentlemen, but it seems the Kingslayer has just set a new world record on track 6, giving him the points needed to get back on top. Well, what are you waiting for, Tim? Go get him! I've got $18 riding on you. $18! Come here and sit. Love you, the three-legged race. Incredible performance as always. How well have you been paying attention this season? So what do you think about the runner we're watching right now? I'm sure you've heard of her. She's taken the world by storm. Exactly what I've been saying. 21 years old and already here at the Champion Summit. Incredible. Hey now, be nice. There's only 16 players here. Someone has to be at the bottom. No need to dunk on the newcomer. Yeah, that's what I thought. But other than that, is there anything you wanted to say? Wise words, Tim.
Stop talking about me all the time.
What's that, Donald? Mike didn't catch anything Big Tim said? Why am I not surprised? Oh, but context clues allow people to get the gist of it anyway? Excellent! Even the last part? Oh, okay, not the last part. Yeah, that makes sense. Production has just informed me that you couldn't actually hear a word of what Big Timothy MD said during his interview earlier. Long story short, he said that young challengers like the Firebolt in Yellow remind him what this is all about. And I couldn't agree more. Wrap up here at the Champions Summit. Most of the runners are back at the house, relaxing and doing interviews, but some are still on the track trying to shave off some time to score more points. Before we end the event, I just wanted to say what an honor it has been to host this year's Champions Summit, which is consistently the best of the year. Having this many top players gather together like this is a rare joy, and each one is truly giving it their all. I'd like to give a special shout out to the Firebolt in Yellow, Nina White. I've had the privilege of commentating her runs all season, and what a gem she is. I don't think we've ever seen a runner this fresh at an event like this. Her times here this weekend are nothing to scoff at either. She's outpaced the estimated scores that nearly every major analyst on Earth gave her. You guys have any idea how much money I've made betting against these so-called analysts? Hundreds of dollars! Anyway, my block's done, so I'm signing off now, Nina. You still have some time left on the clock, so for now, feel free to stick around and sharpen your runs. But when you hear the loud foghorn, production will need you to step into the hot air balloon and head back to the lodge so they can fire up the old time cannon and blast the entire mountain range back into last week. Best of luck. This has been Mick A. Caster. Thanks for having me.
One more run.
There you are. Mind if I grab a seat?
Knock yourself out. So, what does the great Mick A. Caster, caster of stars, want with me tonight?
Please, Mick A. Caster is just a stage name. Call me Michael. I just wanted to congratulate you on an amazing first season. You made for quite the show.
I wasn't there to make a show. I was just there to compete. The show was entirely yours, Michael.
True. I don't really know you, Nina, but...
You sure acted like you did.
And I wish I did, honestly. But when millions of people are tuning in, looking for a reason to change the channel, you tell the story you see. Admittedly, I might have laid it on a little thick, but all things considered, it wasn't that bad of a story.
Did you ever consider whether I wanted to be part of your story? I didn't ask to be a character in your show, Mick.
You always need a story, Nina. It's the finishing touches that turn athletes into legends. The spice that transforms a performance into an experience. There's no doing without it, and I can prove it. All you have to do is tell me. What got you into jet running?
Fine. It was my dad. Every day during a season, he'd have the TV set to jet running. He'd watch the practice runs and everything. Which meant I'd watch too. Practice runs and everything. But I can't say I cared. Dad always called it the perfect combination of athleticism and engineering. The frontier of science meeting the breaking point of human metal. His favorite event was the very first Champions Summits Invitational, held right after the Peony Mountain tracks were built. It was Jacob Voland's breakout win, and my dad had been following him since he started. From the very beginning, Dad said Jacob was going to go far. And well, he was right. Jacob Voland became the Kingslayer, the usurper. In an era dominated by the same few faces, he rose up from nothing and changed everything. It was inspiring even to a small girl who didn't really care. I even got to meet him once, when Dad was in the hospital. He was a real class act. Meeting the Kingslayer was Dad's last wish. I honestly think that he held on a whole week longer than doctors expected, just to meet him. So yeah, #1 fan right there. Channel he'd be tuned into. The last thing I expected was to become as good as I did, and that I'd grow to love it as much as he did. But here we are.
The Kingslayer, huh? I think it was old Howard Ostenspiel who gave him that moniker. It was just something he said on the spot when things got hot. Not to ruin the mystery for you, but Jacob's just some guy. He grew up in the nicer part of what used to be Sweden, dropped out of school, and just ran every day. Lived at home, no real concerns, no other ambitions, just some guy with good legs and a can-do attitude. Don't get me wrong, I've met Jacob a few times, and he's a good guy. Brash, yet surprisingly humble. But he's no usurper. That was just another story, and he played his part. Same with everyone who's ever been anything. He's a lot more like you than you might think, if I'm honest. I don't know how well this character you've been given reflects who you really are, Nina, but that can always be refined. What I do know is that, thanks to you, jet running is more exciting than it has been in years. To a lot of little girls around the world, the Fireball in Yellow is as inspirational as the Kingslayer once was. I really hope you stick around.
I just need some time to think.
I understand. Until next time, contestant Nina White.